Video 70. November 16, 2011. Mythi, MB asks, why the Russian probes sent to Mars missions fails completely. All their attempts to orbit Mars or its moons failure. MB, only certain ethnicities of your planet, the elites who control your Europe and North America, participate in the colonization of Mars with the reptilians, the Russian, the Eastern, African and Asian ones are not included. Any attempt of these ethnicities in the exploration, study, or display in loco of Mars or its moons will be summarily prevented. Thomas asks, Mythi that underwater base you and Arcturians are dismantling, was it a reptilian base? They were using to send negative energy into the Middle East to destabilize people emotionally and mentally in that area in order to create the instability that would give the elitists an excuse for invading that area? Not Thomas. CB also asked about an announcement that had been blown reptilians bases in China and Yemen, and that's not true. The reptilians do not have submarine bases here, had bases in what is now Greece, and several in the Americas, including some lake in Peru in the old times. The Arcturian bases are unimpeachable, they have no enemies, and the force field used in those bases makes them invulnerable. Some bases are being removed and relocated others. It does not happen to radiate negative energy. There are paralyzing energy of the senses alternative used to avoid physical harm to irrational beings or belligerent. What disturbs people is not an external power, are the external problems such as lack of respect for rights, the lack of nutrition for families, the sanctions imposed by those who would otherwise take possession of these regions or simply eliminate some ethnicities. The reptilians are not involved with this type of action. They are much more intelligent and advanced than you realize. Their problem now is with the sanctions of Community Galactica about their presence on the planet as guests. Their party is over with this colony. Mythi, this film was made in a rocket launch of a few days ago when he was already above the atmosphere, that appears blue is what? See, this is the system Nibiru seen from Earth's southern quadrant. When viewed directly receiving the sunlight that is behind the sun, the only frequency reflected by the emission of protons, is light blue. During the day, which is when the sun is shining, you do not see it, since your atmosphere also reflects light blue. And the night it is out of reach of vision. The only viable position of observation is the South Pole. When it passes to the front of sun, that is less than 10. You will see a reddish ball because the sunlight is coming from behind. As I said earlier, Krolians are positioning the system in the original route, and should accelerate its speed when they receive the order of the galactic community. They brought it from the limits of the Kuiper belt to near the sun. In a few months you will see your second sun. All so far entered into controversy with CB, will witness all the facts and, after reviewing all that has been said, we'll see how they were duped into making hurried guesses. This deliberate backwardness to the passage of Nibiru's system and any interference adopted so far by the CG is because of the official report of Pleiadians on the high trends of a conflict in the world aimed at the extermination of 80% of ethnicities present, by the elites acting. As you are learning, few variables can greatly change the direction and timing of events. Since we started talking for over a year, much has changed course, variables were changing, decisions were being taken. Many, who felt misled by the facts, might be taken up defensive positions with respect to this information, and even try to discredit them, but everything will come in time, nothing like a day after another to reveal the outcome of events. Try to read everything that has been said from the beginning of our conversations. You will understand the nuances of the facts that lead to change as the development of events. The truth is eventually written right in crooked lines.